From what we can tell, a mother and her young children went to the other side of England from Newcastle to London to a escaped beaten woman's refuge to escape her husband or lover or whatever he was. And a convicted rapist or convicted sexual assaulter who lied about converting to Christianity drove 300 odd miles between Newcastle and London to throw an extremely alkaline, corrosive substance over the face of the woman and the children. I don't know if it's his children, but that would compound it and make it even worse. Throwing corrosive substances over your own children. He's been named in the press as Abdul. Abdul's on the loose. Abdul's on the run. Abdul's a hunted man. Abdul did not decide to go home. He decided to go to London and do what we colloquially call an acid attack. And I was chatting to my chemical engineer friend yesterday. We were horrified. We were sat down on this very couch discussing corrosive alkaline substances and the horror stories. My chemical engineer friend said that what it does to your skin, to the tissue, to the meat, to the blood, to the nerve endings, to everything it comes into contact on a biological entity. Now, before we all disappear down a xenophobic hatred of anyone with brown skin or black skin or anyone called Abdul or so forth, it's important to remember that native white British people commit atrocities every day. But the particularly savage, brutal, evil, satanic attacks seem to be very heavily represented by people who should be in a tiny minority. When people who should be in the 5% end up committing 80% of the savage, satanic, demonic attacks, then something is wrong. And the Met Police were forced to release a description of the man, but a good rule of thumb, and this upsets me greatly. First of all, a good description of a wanted man is essential for the quick apprehension and public safety of the environment he's in. But when a British police force or American police force, a Canadian police force refuses to release a description for the first 24 hours, 48 hours, they put further people at risk of this person who might be rationalizing, oh well, I've done an acid attack, my right eyeball is missing. If you've seen the images on I might as well guarantee my place in paradise by taking out as many of these nasty heathens as I can. That's not in the realm of fantasy. Abdul knows he's fucked. And when the police refuse to release a description of the suspect for community building, for diversity, for equality and inclusion, don't be racist. No! You don't need a description. He was a human being, okay? It could be Sven, blonde, blue-eyed Sven. He could have done it. It could be Tyrone, the kind of West African guy. But no, you don't need to know who did it. I just want to swear angrily at the camera, you know, the way dads do when the sports is on. Anyone else grow up with a dad shouting at the TV, shouting at the sports? Nigel Mansell, you fucking... Ayrton Senna, you fucking... What's his name? Oh, God. What was the angry tennis player called? The American tennis player. I can visualize him. John McEnroe, you... Now, I want to just shout and scream at the lens here because you know that a police force, they like, this is Met Police. Yeah, put me through internally to the diversity officer of the Metropolitan Police. Oh, hi there, Aisha. Yeah, we've got the latest acid attack. His name's Abdul, and he's from Afghanistan, we think. Should we release a description so that we can maybe put other young girls in safety? And then Aisha's like, oh, let me check. Nah, computer says no, because he's a brown man. We don't want extra racism. So, you know, part and parcel of living in a big city, these alkaline acid attacks. Sorry. Oh, okay, cool. All right, no statement release. Now, the chilling effect that has on our society, for any person to go out, like, do we not having, like, it's daily now, daily atrocities. And it's worth, I guess, while we're here, talking a bit about the Brianna Ghey conviction today. So to fill you in, if you've not been filled in, good for you. No, but to fill you in, Brianna Ghey was a 16-year-old transgender girl, a male to female transgender who was brutally murdered by two 16-year-olds. Now, I started watching we allow cameras in courts now for the more savage cases when the judge lays down the law. But drum roll, guys, let's see. Where's the... Brianna Ghey's killer have received... Scarlett, the female, has been jailed for 22 years. And Eddie... God, they're a couple of scary-looking people. 20-year minimum terms. They got life sentences with minimum 22 years. So there's justice. Two knife murderers will be walking around, starting families, having kids in their mid-30s. Whilst the young Brianna... Now, there's a lot to unpack from this story. And I'm not sure how, as a father, I'm not sure how comfortable I am with a few elements of... I'm not going to bloody say it. I think you all know what, if you read between the lines. It's a tragedy from start to finish. It's a tragedy that a 16-year-old boy, or whenever age he was when he decided he was the opposite sex. And, you know, I'm with the gays. I'm with the gays when the gays say that there's like this destruction of young gay men and young lesbian women. There's this fevered craziness. Who knows where it comes from? Evil, dark places. Young gay men are being erased or being forced to undergo some quite dramatic things. And it's encouraged. Young lesbian girls are being advised to bind their breasts up and give themselves horrible injuries. And instead of saying, oh, you're a tomboy, or instead of saying, oh, you like girls, which is fine. Nothing wrong with liking girls if you're a girl. Nothing wrong with liking boys if you're a boy. We're all grown-ups. And there's so much to unpack in this. And so many people, and who knows who's going to watch this video and get really angry at me. The dust hasn't settled. The killers have just been convicted. Brianna Ghey. And there you go, what a surname for what I'm talking about. Young gay man, or Brianna Ghey. What was his original? Brian Ghey? Maybe, who knows. But I don't want to be insensitive, but I think it's important to discuss these things whilst we're all being asked and forced to go down routes that our government and the status quo and the LGTV 4K woke crowd are saying. Utter sympathy for the family of young Brianna Ghey. And the killers have got hefty sentences. Very hefty sentences. And turns out it wasn't a transphobic attack. They just hated young Brianna. They just hated her. But I don't want what's happened to Brianna to kill the very necessary conversation that we should have about the potential erasure of the perfectly acceptable world of homosexuality by those who want to put hormones and treatments and start to completely change what it means to be human because they know better than you. Yeah, now you shut up, bigot. But ultimately, my God, my sympathies to the parents of Brianna. But coming back to Abdul. Unless a political change happens which makes these really dark crimes like rare as they're supposed to be, I truly feel that we are going to go into a 1930s style where people, if they're not listened to, if the politicians in Westminster and Whitehall think that your average working class British person doesn't deserve to be listened to, shut up! Shut up! Accept it. We've changed the demographics, we've changed the country, we've changed the safety of the nation, and if they don't listen to the normal men and women of this country, they're going to vote for a party that will do the things that they want. And we don't want that. We don't want that history to repeat. But we need to remember that these extreme parties don't just take over overnight. The public, if they feel humiliated, put down, undignified by being told that you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're an idiot, just for wanting your country to be nice old England with cricket fields and phone boxes and cucumber sandwiches and Pimm's and lemonade, and the ability for young girls to play hopscotch in the street without sex-starved, crazy people following whatever ideology being a threat to them. Something needs to be done, and the people will remember that we are the people that elect governments, not the other way around. They don't elect how we're meant to be. We elect them to represent us, and if we don't have a solution, then the things that we end up with will not be very good for the people who should have fucking listened. So, Charlie Beach, thanks for watching.